Unreal Nightmare off the back of a peak performance. Suckwo, Gyro, and Path face off Gen.G Mobile 1. A star-studded roster with land potential and even more. We have got grand finalists of the biggest stage, champions of the biggest stage, and the greatest prodigy that Rocket League has ever seen in the form of Aqua. Justin wishes he could take that spot. Raw Greg, of course, standing as the coach of that Gen.G Mobile 1 side. It is the most professional roster you could possibly put up against the mighty Unreal Nightmare. But whilst one team looks down, a giant has awoken. Unreal Nightmare ready to cause bad dreams for this titan of Gen.G. Of course, they will be sponsored by Mobile 1 Racing. I hope they're happy to settle for second place. Unreal Nightmare look to take that pole position. All players are already in a lobby together, ready to make their server and allow this game to go underway. They've checked in. They're raring and ready to go. And of course, a reminder of our wonderful, wonderful coach. Unfortunately, he's not popping up for us. We will move on. Justin's peeing. You know what? Cut the music. No. Cut the music. Cut the music. Justin. Can I not clip farm a little bit? Can we have an intro? Well, here we go. They're going in. No, we don't deserve hype intro. We don't deserve hype intro. They're not going to let us do it. They're not getting it. In fact, I hate this Gen.G Mobile 1 Racing team. I wish they lost against Velocity. Let's get this game started, ladies and gentlemen. Gen.G Mobile 1 versus Unreal Nightmare. This is going to be an intense matchup. This is going to be arguably the biggest series of the day and potential for the biggest upsets in an A if Unreal Nightmare were able to pull off a positive result. Justin takes control, flip reset, gets it over one. Gyro is able to clear it to the corner. Rise looks for that pass back inside. Aqua will sneak it under. Ball off the ceiling. He's unable to grab that reset. Rise holds it down for that 50-50. Gyro looks to pounce quick, but that second touch is not going to happen. Doesn't make use of that flip reset. Knows there's going to be no use in it. Instead, buys its time back to recover, and Aqua can take that front spot instead. Demo comes out. Space opens up. Aqua gets Path on the inside pass. Rise gets that initial block, and already 50s being forced out in dangerous positions for Gen.G Mobile 1. Unreal Nightmare still look to silence them. Path back in possession. Beaten by Magic Bear. Justin strike will head straight to Aqua's body. Does well to clear this one out to the corner, and that's going to be the real player to try and stop. Justin avoids. Gyro gets that flip reset, and already you can feel like this is going to be an extremely high level affair with zero margin for error. My goodness, shot on. It is Magic Bear. It is the opening goal. Unreal Nightmare will start off with a deficit. This was a gorgeous clearance coming from Rise. Magic Bear is just perfectly positioned. And that flick over was so tough to stop for any Unreal Nightmare defenders. It's a good start for Gen.G Mobile 1. Moving forward, though. Gyro not going to be too phased by just one goal. They've had their chances already in this game. They already have proven that this is a roster that they can take space against. Gyro sends this one across. Justin gets that block. Path will leave this one up to Aqua. Magic Bear just about manages to clip this one high. And it's all the fine margins when you're against a team of this pedigree. Gyro leaves this one again for Aqua. Maintains that high amount of boost though. Can clean up if this ball falls wide. Path, let's get the job done early. Instead, it's going to be Gyro taking this one straight to Rise. Low boost, so it's going to be tough to get that job done. But Justin jumps in from that top corner. Looks dangerous. And that ball spills out in the center. A big reaction was required from Aqua. He does manage to get there. Path, dribble, looks to go all the way. The double tap isn't enough. That crossbar was covered. Magic Bear will swing over. And this feeds its way back into the corner. Rise. Again, looking to initiate that clamping offense with Gen.G. Once they do find themselves in a stride, are so tough to stop. That's one ball into Justin. And he will never miss from a position like this. Flips so early, has full confidence. But there is no one there to stop him. The player in that GOAT conversation for Rocket League. And still, despite the years it has been since he's been able to call himself a reigning world champion, still remains at the very, very top level of this game. And with Rise and Magic Bear rounding off this roster, you can really feel the impact that all of these players come together can really put forward. Magic Bear does so well for those first few touches to have that ball guiding on target and just bells away at the very last second for that demo. That's so tough to read for Unreal Nightmare defensively. A deserved goal. Very deserved goal. But one, again, that Unreal Nightmare, I don't want them to start to lie down and allow all that pressure from their opponents because we have seen that Gen.G are a potentially reverse sweepable roster from that next to new performance. And frankly, if next to new can do it, why can't we? We swept them last night. Path keeps this ball low, is unable to cut this one around Justin. This will go towards that back wall. Path with zero boost, looks to find it inside. Aqua just hits that crossbar. And he wanted to put that one high because he did have a defender right in front of him. But it's still a tad overcooked. And this looks like a meal that is unrecoverable by this point. Better to start back from square one. 5 minutes on the clock. 0-0 when we head into that game 2. Because this one has definitely fallen away from favour. Rise. Just wasting down that clock. 15 seconds. This is a victory lap now for Gen.G Mobile 1. They will open up the scoring. But there are concerns of stamina coming out of round 1. But for now, the result is settled. Gen.G Mobile 1 are your opening winners. Okay, I guess Unreal Nightmare. We wish. But in this case, it was a very balanced performance from the 3 players of Gen.G Mobile 1, who actually have Yota watch partying. Oh my goodness, I've just seen he's in the server. I know he'll have a big smile on his face right now, and as much as I love Yota and his beaming smile, I want to wipe that off him as quickly as possible. Because that wasn't a horrific performance from Unreal Nightmare by any means. It did at times leave a bit to be bargained for, but nothing outside the realms of possibility. Game 2 is underway. Let's take this one with fresh eyes. Let's forget all that landed in Game 1. And let's rally the troops. Come on, Unreal Nightmare. Gyro, look for that back wall path. Looks to immediately pile on the pressure against Gen.G. Rise. Grasping for an escape. Aqua will have space for that reset. No one challenges. Justin buys his time to save it off that corner. But now there's an opening path, though. Strikes it straight towards Rise. Magic Bear gets the counter, and the net is just left open. That's a goal gifted to the side of Gen.G Mobile 1. But it is that double-edged sword. Your opponent score early. Sure, you can see that head start. But that means there is plenty of time for you to make that comeback. I'd hardly call one goal much of a comeback. This is easily in reach. And the capabilities of these three experienced players. Gyro. Oh, beaten to that ball by Justin. Aqua had his work cut out for him. Tip this ball out wide. Rise will slam this one down. Justin again has to make a last-ditch save. And whilst we know Justin for the shots, he's still, to this day, he's one of the best defensive players in the world. Have him in a 1v1 spot. Shot-stopping capabilities are, in my opinion, close to second to none. Maybe second to 3 or 4. Rise on. Making sure all those mechanics are on show, but the actual final shot product wasn't all that impressive. A lousy strike, which was easy to clear off that line. Now let's give them something to struggle with. Aqua towards that top corner, but Magic Bear pulls off the in and outs. Named after one of Justin's former teammates, of course, that mechanic. And I believe that's a name that speaks for itself. I don't have to say it on broadcast. Rise. Holds down in the corner. Turns quick. Has Magic Bear as a close option, but Justin is that double padlock of that further opportunity. Magic Bear, that's a gorgeous catch. And now that sets up Rise wonderfully. Justin's just hunting around the Unreal Nightmare backboard. Was hunting for bumps for quite some time, and maybe a stray pass as well. Neither come. But he's got that confidence in his teammates that he doesn't feel like he has to immediately chase himself behind. That defense is covered by players of a high caliber. Magic Bear doesn't get the power behind it. Would have found Justin. Justin jumps early for this chance. So Aqua can tie it into that far post. When two prodigies clash. Now with experience under their belts, Aqua is in his mind. That is such a fascinating fake. Does that little hop, makes it look like he's going to go for the wave dash. Instead, settles to landing with pristine placement into that bottom corner. It's a momentum builder. It's the first goal for Unreal Nightmare in this series. And considering the strength of opposition, that did not take too long. And a best of 5 calls for you to respond quick. You don't want to be forced into a must-reverse sweep. Gyro clears this one to the corner. Rise is going to be there quick, but Gyro is going to be there even quicker. Adaka again, hunting for that top corner. Magic Bear is forced to use everything he's got in his tank to make that save-out path, despite maximal resources. Does not get a very good touch. Magic Bear looking for the angle himself. Aqua didn't even need to make a connection on that ball. It is low resources in defense, and that's why you see that boom ball forward. Just give some time for Gen.G Mobile 1 to go and chase it, and for Unreal Nightmare start and pick up some pads. Now you can see them high boost, much more equipped for the very high caliber offense that Gen.G bring. It's high investment offense. They use a lot of their boost, and in turn you tend to have to do the same. And it takes an extra layer of intelligence to know when you have to match your opponent in that regard, or where you can find an advantage. That's a ball backwards, which will not reach Gyro. That's just 20 in the tank now. Flip resets over. Magic Bear is able to force this one high. Aqua's out of position. It's another open net. And seemingly the team, I should say, most likely to beat Unreal Nightmare is themselves. That is a second double commit and a second goal awarded to Gen.G Mobile 1. We haven't particularly been outplayed in this series, I would say. I would go never as far to say that, honestly. This has been a game completely decided by that of Unreal Nightmare. And unfortunately, we felt the brunt end of that more than the positives. Still chance for a 0-second goal. Magic Bear's hunting for extra. Gets that reset. Finds the target. And that will be game over for the second. Must reverse sweep. This was the spot, though, where Next and You were able to pick up 2 in a row. And we've got to back that our boys here will be able to do the very same. A winnable game for Unreal Nightmare is a 1 game for Gen.G Mobile 1. And Rise started to really pick up the pressure there. 2 shots and still was able to pick up a goal and an assist in that matchup. Justin actually had 7 shots on net by himself, and that wasn't enough for him to pick up a goal. So the defense was definitely there, but guys, we gave away 2. We gave away 2. We can't keep doing this. We need to maintain a veil of calm in this third. We need, of course, the coaches or the leaders on this roster to try and grab a hold of this. Austin, of course, being the primary coach for the roster. That's who I'd look to. And I'm sure they did have a quick conversation in between games. Because you're right, chat, this has been winnable. And Gen.G will know that this has been a series they've had to work for so far. Aqua has got a tough beat here against Justin. Justin just gets there first, but Gyro was already prepared for that ball to go over. That's a tough angle for Aqua. Will be forced to hear the ding off that crossbar. And Aqua is the player that I'm representing behind my green screen right now. I know what he can do on a pitch if he finds himself a bit of space, a bit of boost. And that perfect first touch as well. I felt like I was going to speak it into existence. But in terms of defending these really mechanical attempts, Gen.G have been excellent. As much as Unreal Nightmare haven't really been a team that has been outplayed in this series, I would say, Gen.G Mobile 1 are certainly a tough team to play out of book in their own regards. Aqua had one moment where he was able to in the previous. This is going to be a simple drop-down passing play, though, which Rise is going to completely see through. And that was about as opaque of an opportunity as glass. Justin, another very predictable shot. Magic Bear takes this one towards the corner. And Path makes sure that the opportunity for a coast-to-coast from Magic Bear is denied with that really high challenge. And when you are doubled up on the wall like that as well with a teammate behind, you can potentially give yourself a chance for a regain in possession. So far, it is possession for Unreal Nightmare, but it's siphoned off in these corners, and corners are safe for the defensive team. It requires a little bit of extra flair to find the infield space, and that's where the real damage can be inflicted. Now, though, again, force of a corner. Aqua needs to try and get that 50 inside. Rise will spawn in a fortunate side of the pitch to get a touch, but it was enough to pile on the pressure and allow Justin that free clearance. Ball drops down for Path. The 50 is strong versus Rise, but Gyro needs to get this job done. It's Aqua! And the attack was drip-fed over time. But it's Aqua that lets it pour. Eventually, the defensive bucket of Gen.G overflows. And we see them spill to a deficit. 2 minutes to hold, or 2 minutes to increase. Path is looking for the latter. But Justin wasn't challenged much off that chance. This will go down to Gyro. Aqua will put it towards the corner. Pops this ball up high. Justin lands it yet again. Aqua is going to struggle to 50 against Magic Bear. Those reverse 50s are deceptively strong. You'd think you'd be stronger facing forward, but the hitboxes of the cars actually do lean down somewhat the further forward in your corridor is. So that's why actually reverse challenges can, in a way, be stronger than your front. Little fun fact there for you of rocket science, halfway dead. Inspired, rise. Is it going to rise to that occasion? Instead, stalwarts on the side of Unreal Nightmare. Aqua looks for this high ball. Path will steal it. A side wall would be ambitious. And there is a free back wall. Magic Bear has to be quick to dive himself up. Gyro has to find the target. Doesn't get the dunk either. Path is still on. And they'll keep this one going. They feel like they've got the beat off this position. And that Gen.G Mobile 1 are out of pace. But Magic Bear recovers it for them. The conductor for this roster. And this steam train can now get rolling with 40 seconds left. Ambitions from Gen.G of having this game decided. And it looks like it would require an OT for that to be the case. But Unreal Nightmare are not going to let that happen. Justin out to rise. And that is a gorgeous first touch. But Aqua makes sure nothing can be made of it. Justin, again, a very low shot. And this was the problem with Gen.G in Open 1 during the Swiss stage. It just felt like they didn't have their shooting tyres on. And there will be no complaints on this side of the broadcast if that repeats itself, because Unreal Nightmare have taken a game off Gen.G. A team that was LAN ready. A team made up of a world champion, of finalists, and of course, such a high talent in the form of Magic Bear fall to Aqua, Gyro, and Path. That's more like it. They are drowning from Aqua. He has had an incredible game just then. But defensively overall, I don't know if you guys had an eye on those stats. It was 8 saves total on the side of Unreal Nightmare. Gen.G Mobile 1 only needed 2. So definitely a game won by defense. But you know what I say? Offense wins you games. Defense wins you series. And both will win you championships. Welcome to Unreal Nightmare in chat. I'm sure you're enjoying this one. Especially with how it's starting to unfold. And this is not looking too dissimilar to Gen.G's match versus Next to New. That, of course, went to 5 from this spot. But what happened in Game 5 would be the only aspect of that series we would not want to repeat itself. Justin over to Path. Path puts this high. Has an option for a reset instead. Goes for the solid touch. Magic Bear played so well for it. Path 0 boost. Still has enough to get one touch forward. But now Rise looks well equipped. Doesn't get the flip reset. Was likely looking for those pop resets that have gone so popular at the highest level. I'm sure you've seen your favorite comp clip hitter absolutely abuse that mechanic in all of their Twitter montages, where its impact in the highest level has continued to be such a big factor. You think of players like Diaz that are able to do it off their back wall. There looks like there's space here for Path. The flip reset isn't enough to get past Rise, and Justin will be able to catch. Has had to burn a lot of boosts to be able to keep up, and Gyro is doubled up there on the side, but hold on a minute. 99% of the ball, it's not enough. Path! From defense to offense. So Gen.G how it's done. Our turn for the counter-attacks. A taste of their own medicine. Another injection of pure confidence. But don't let it go over your head. There is still a solid 3 minutes to try and survive, and Rise looks like he'll quickly equalize. There were 2 players, but they were not there in time. A moment of calm. Take a deep breath. Breathing underwater being the song on the screen. They'll regret that once Aqua starts performing. Wow, kickoff strategy here. Coming through from Gen.G. Allowing Unreal Nightmare to hit that into the cheating player. Doesn't result to anything in this occasion, but that's definitely going to be something to look out for later, assuming there is a next time. There has to be a next time for Unreal Nightmare. Otherwise, this will be game, set, and match. On the road to the neutral bracket. Aqua keeps that low. It's a save from Rise. A tough angle to follow up from Path, but he still finds a target. Aqua getting that 100 boost in the corner. Has his work cut out for him to cut inside. Does get that bump. Justin, though, with a full tank of boost. And Gyro, not very high place in this attack. Does require Path to really generate all the power. And it was all power, no targets. Rise goes for the fake of the first man. Wants that demo to land on Path. That play felt a bit too obvious. You're not going to fool any player of that experience just like that. Aqua has no options on the far side. At least inside the box. Outside of it, Path is available. And there has been so many chances for Unreal Nightmare. So much real estate in that final third. But you just have that feeling in the back of your mind that it only takes one for Gen.G Mobile. You need to really take these chances when they come. Otherwise, in these final 90 seconds, you're going to have too many regrets to count, and that will start to play with a mind. Rise off that sidewall has Magic Bear, flicks it over, but Path playing so tight to the play. The second man options have really made all the difference so far. And Path is the beaten second man option. Rise is just a little bit quicker to the mark, bumps off Aqua. But with that being so tight to the back wall, no real opportunities for a shot on the side of Gen.G. Rise will take his time. I believe bumped a teammate there. Just off screen was Magic Bear. Aqua will take this to his own corner. Now you need a perfect balance of that patience and that willingness to just find the targets! How on earth? Unbelievable power! Finds the crossbar in his scopes. Takes a deep breath and pulls the trigger. The lead is back to Unreal Nightmare. Rarely does a standard shot require that kind of reaction. But that was so impressive. Unfortunately, though, again, it is a call and response from Gen.G. You hit them once, they'll hit you harder. And just like the bigger brother in this matchup. And Path did so well to find the net against his former teammate as well. Oh, here he is again. That one just coming off the crossbar. Angle just a bit differently. And that could have been game over. Seconds dwindling down and overtime potentially on the cards. This ball stays up though. Drops down. Early challenge. A goal required for Unreal Nightmare. He would shut down this series if it comes from Gen.G. They look to do it early. The Gyro collects in the corner. There are teammates with so many options inside. They've got that tank of boost. The bumps are coming out. This is where it gets physical. This is where it gets personal. In round two. Perfect record still to maintain. Gyro looks for that second. Does flick towards her own corner of Gen.G. Path has a back pass option. Aqua is waiting low here. Beats two men. That's a double commit, but it's so hard to find the angle. Rise doesn't have enough power behind it. And Gyro gets us to 5. 2 goals from the G-Man himself. The nightmare for Gen.G. They see another 5. It's a repeat of round 1 for Gen.G. But what if it ends differently? What if they face their first defeat of the day? Seeded to not get a single one. Held close by next to new. And the team that were their conquerors. Early on, we've gotten our lion's share. But it's an everlasting hunger for more. Game 5 kicks off. And there is no need to complicate the storyline. Reverse sweep potentials for Unreal Nightmare. Gen.G Mobile 1 looking to avoid embarrassment, and it's a great start from Magic Bear. From his own corner, picks up the 100 boost. And that second touch was all he needed. Bumped away Aqua. Gyro had that position covered, he believed, by his teammate. And should he have attempted the challenge, it was likely that he would have faced victim to that very same essence of physicality. But elsewhere in the Swiss stage, SSG lose 3-1 to Dignitas. This isn't the day for the higher seeded rosters. And it's time to take advantage of that. A team that was forced to play day 1 versus one that was invited and made its appearance at the kickoff LAN. What an unbelievable opportunity. Aqua, of course, formerly of Dignitas, will be looking to follow in the footsteps of his former organization. There is a mutiny in North America. For now, though, still the lead on the side of Gen.G. Of course, that can come to a close at any moment. We proved in that last game that chances can just fly. Path flip resets off that back wall, and oh, Gyro just doesn't want to commit. It would have been so risky to send himself forward. Gyro over 1, looks for the 50 versus Magic Bear, but Path gets there first. Equality is regained. And it's another show of individualism from Path. Ambition on the side of Unreal Nightmare. And if you have no ambition, there's no chance you beat rosters of this caliber. Rise. Over to Justin, but this will just fall to Path. Magic Bear wants this one off to ceiling. Gyro has already pre-jumped this attempt. Does get that touch. Spills away. And that's not going to be a tall order for anyone on the side of Gen.G. This might be though, because Gyro's got a full tank of boost. Magic Bear has low resources. Hits off that crossbar, and that backboard is so free. It's so close though to that backboard. Double top opportunities were low. And Justin just bullies his way out of defense. Demo from Justin. But for now, it just feels like that's put him out of position. He has a big attack here to try and shut down. Gyro's already recovered from that Shadow Realm. Re-enters the pitch. Path picking up that 100 boost is going to be more impactful than you could over know, because that's going to slow down the counter-attack. It's going to rush out his recovery as well. And bolster up a good position for Unreal Nightmare. These are the intricacies that really count, but come on, the simplicities have to come through. You cannot be double committing. That's a miscommunication. We wanted Gyro to leave that ball so he could play it wide to the corner. Gyro just wanted one extra touch. Two minutes now. And this is really where you take all the deep breaths and keep those comms flowing. Because this is going to have to be a big ditch effort. 100 seconds remain. Justin brings it down. Path gets this one off the corner. Magic Bear goes high. Path uses that moment to go low. Then goes high again. Just as all that boost is burned down. Intelligent. Aqua wants it off that waterfall, but just falls to that corner. Like I said, always going to be favourable for the defensive team. Even the efforts of Path are not going to be enough to make up for it. Aqua so front-footed on that opportunity. Doesn't want to hold it close and make action happen from his own third. Just wants to get this ball into the danger area as quick as possible. That is a bad jump from Justin. Magic Bear is able to bail him out. That could have been the equaliser found again from Aqua. Gyro, what a demo that is. And now you see two players positioned high. Someone's got to linger around. It will be the higher boosted Aqua. And now Gyro has quite the task cut out for him. Magic Bear appears to be going for an Arsenal reset. So many names of legends being mentioned. This is an unbelievable lobby. Oh, what a pinch from Aqua. Works out as a self-setup. Magic Bear isn't able to control this ball. Too much power behind it. Too tough an angle. This one, though, a little bit more down his alley. Again, going for these bump attempts. And I don't like to see this high ball flying over. Neither the team bumps. 17 seconds left. The ground is heating up, and very soon it shall be lava. An Unreal Nightmare still are looking for that goal. This could be it! 0 seconds unrequired. Path of the pre-flip forward. One death touch by Aqua. And Aqua knows Path will hold his run. That's going to be a shake to the mental. Of course, these are professional opponents. But who would this not affect? One goal away. Will the dream come true for Unreal Nightmare? Path 50's across. Aqua in the corner. The third man has to stay patient here because Justin is already up. This is no time to double commit. It's on target. Aqua, though, last-ditch save. Will have more chances. Rise is going for that double tap. And they will throw everything they've got in their locker in this OT. And Unreal Nightmare have to catch the kitchen sink and throw it right back at them. Path over to Gyro. Instead, finds the ball of Rise. Aqua looks for that side ball. That's going high and on target. But Justin makes that first save. And this is the briefest moment of calm. Now already the pace increase. Aqua wants that tight angle. Is it going to get it? Justin cannot commit to that offense. But this is all Paths. Does so well to get that second touch. Will still stay tight to the play. Will be hunting for a few bumps. If he does have the privilege, it now has to dive back. Aqua out that corner. Path. Is this the chance? Is this the dagger off that back wall? Aqua is up. He's been the hero off that corner. Too tough to call. Path can't find the targets. So Magic Bear will lead those lines. Off that back wall, and oh, it's dangerous to see that undefended. You saw two men jump at the same time as well of Unreal Nightmare. That will grind down the limited resources they have. Rise has none. Looks for the rifle. Justin will not have a heavy shot off. So Aqua confidently clears. That's a whiff though coming from Gyro and Magic Bear. Oh my gosh, had more that he could go for. Instead settles it down. Leaves a lot to be beckoned for from Justin. Gyro wishing he had 100 to his favour. Justin actually stealing the home boost for Unreal Nightmare. So it's unlikely this pressure is going to come to an end anytime soon. Magic Bear steals those that are opposite. This is the grinding down nature that these teams will do to you. They'll be efficient on the pads. Don't overuse boost. Magic Bear lands that demo against Path. Now there's going to be less movement from the roster of UN. That's when you need to find those big booms. Now you can take your breath. Now you can start to regroup. But Rise is a very intimidating player to see in possession. Aqua needed that touch. Lots of needs. Not very many wants. This is the scenario you face It has to be pure perfection. But Path with some open space. 100 boost. Fakes down low. Rises on that back wall, but Justin commits himself so early. Gyro's off that back wall. And there wasn't anyone there to challenge too early inside from Gen.G. It won't go out to a chance. Redirect comes off that backboard. Aqua just needs to find the target. It doesn't come on, and Gyro will finish the job! It is done! The dreams of Unreal Nightmare come to life!